Flint, which is over an hour and 20 minutes away, to do a DPQ for one thing. Now I know I'm being toyed with by the VBA too, and this level of the ability to screw with somebody and to have this much influence within agencies, that that says to me Constellus and Triple Canopy and their far-reaching abilities. The Prince family, the DeVos family, far-reaching ability, and they can do whatever they want and they get away with it. And they help others, and this is also the long arm of the Black Hebrew Israelites, who some used to work in our company and they still gang stalk us. My daughter and I can walk into a store, or sometimes when we go into Saginaw and we get on the bus, and there'll be 2 or 3 Hebrew Israelites sitting there. You can tell them generally because of the way they dress, um, and the head coverings they wear, and they'll be sitting with us and trying to clandestinely hide cameras that are on us. I've been told that people are taking videos, not just to post them on various places like TikTok or OnlyFans or in Facebook Messenger, but they post them on freaking 4chan too. And I will not stop until I out as many people I can, and I educate as many people out there about what's happening to them if they're being targeted, and until I do my best to get justice for my daughters for everything that's happened. And don't ask me how it came to be, but the people that keep hacking my daughter, her accounts, or hacking my accounts, apparently went there to try to turn my daughter against me. And again, they're from Saginaw, and they're trying their best to turn my oldest daughter against me, saying that I don't care about her, saying that I've abandoned her, just saying all kinds of stuff, and then forcing themselves to that they have some kind of authority to intermediate my communication between my daughter and myself. And if I don't talk through them, I can't talk to her. Kind of like holding her captive. Now, if I was working for an agency, I would have the long arm of the embassy and other such uh, agencies connected to the embassy, but I don't. But, again, this is an example of them trying to peak things again and, um, and target and harm my family. And the biggest thing with the VA, if they keep the VBA, they keep doing this for my compensation claim, keep scheduling something for just one DPQ, then send it back to the Raider. They can screw with my family indefinitely. And now that somebody actually put on paper, yep, this guy is disabled, he has a lot of stuff, put it under Gulf War syndrome, uh, which is what they use when a veteran is a PACT Act veteran and they have more than one issue. They have a cluster of stuff, like cluster headaches, nerve problems, spine problems, digestive problems, inflammation, breathing problems. It's a cluster. They call it Gulf War illness or Gulf War syndrome, and they'll keep doing this indefinitely. And since somebody put that down on a piece of paper, Now also our benefits for the state, they can screw with us too. Every 3 months they could screw with us. And instead of, getting compensation and putting it into my company and my kids to earn an income and be a productive member of society, we're living off welfare indefinitely. And now the Republicans apparently are going after medical insurance too. What a coincidence. Now that the VA, has even got more aggressive. I don't want to say the entire VA, but about 4 or 5 people got more aggressive with screwing me over at the VA. And it never stops. It never stops. And I already know that Constellus and Triple Canopy, they got a lot of friends on Capitol Hill who are Republicans. A lot of them. And the Republican Party targeted me just like one of my dad's distant relatives who was in politics. I mean, I don't know how distant, but distant, I think. I don't really know them that well. But I know that the Republican Party turned against him and tried to destroy the whole family. They turned against him just like that. And, kind of similar thing. I don't know them that much. I just know what I've read about the family. I don't even. I think one person knows I exist. One person. But I mean, the family's in Alaska anyway. I mean, as far as I know, most of them. But this is just the VA screwing with me, or VBA screwing with me indefinitely. But in the end, if I die, I guarantee you the Triple Canopy is going to try to get their money back from the Army. Oh, he's dead now. Yep, it's related to his service. We want our money back. We want to repay the bond. Because when a veteran, when not a veteran, excuse me, when a defense contractor dies, um, I've, I've been told uh, that previous administration they edited the Defense Base Act to include death after deployment instead of during. So if a veteran dies after, then these companies can apply for their bond to be paid back. The bond that they pay us when we get hurt, injured. Um, Generally, they pay bond. You get the bond plus your salary, or you get a giant settlement. In my case, um, I didn't get a lot of money. It was just my salary for a specific period of time. Um, my salary plus some medical costs, but that goes rather quickly when you have family spread in 2 different countries, um, and you get targeted, so you lose a lot during the targeting, a lot of stuff. But that what it is. That's what happens. But you, it's a sobering reality when you see what people can do. Um, and I don't think that everybody that works with Constellus, you're talking about thousands of people, or that all of the black Hebrew Israelites are bad. The thing is, when people know that something's going on to a family and they ignore what's going on, or they join in, it just shows the character of the person, the character of the company or agency, that they would tolerate those kind of things, or the character of a religious group or sect, that they would tolerate such behavior. But I mean, with extremist groups, especially the ones we're dealing with nowadays, many of them are focused on anti-Catholicism, anti-Judaism, anti-Semitism. Um, they're focused on a false sense of support for Israel. Um, Generally, what they do is try to turn it against people who support Israel. Um, it's kind of an anti-Zionism. Yeah, Israel should exist, but not for Jews. It should be for, you know, what the extremist groups will say is for the true descendants of the tribes of Israel. These are the Israelite extremist groups of all shades. They say the same stuff. And generally, they have the one common thing they have, even amongst the ones that are black or Native American Israelite groups, is they all have a common theme of anti-Semitism against Ashkenazis. That's the common thing. But that's how these groups operate. But this video is not about that. This is about the great depths and the great reach of the people who wish to target my family and keep us in financial captivity and affect my children, their future, and destroy my name, my reputation, my health. So my claim went absolutely nowhere except in a circle. And and they want to send me an hour and a half away to do one DBQ, Disability Benefits Questionnaire, an hour and a half away, for something that can be evaluated in about 15 minutes. And still no rating decision, no up in my medical care. Like I said, when people organize against you, these kind of people, the only thing I can think of regarding the Hebrew Israelites is that some of them used to work in our company. Um, so that's the only thing I can, think there. And then the fact that, within mid Michigan, we have three defense contractors that deal with Triple Canopy and Constellus, and they deal with their holdings too, significant technology holdings and such, related to defense. Um, Most people don't know that. We got about a handful, no, two handfuls of defense contracting companies within the state of Michigan. About two handful, I'd say about 10 to 12, maybe a couple more. And then long arm, and then can't forget that Academy merged with Triple Canopy, and then became another holding within Constellus. The entire portfolio, which is worth $1 billion. That's even enough to make governors, lieutenant governors, attorney generals, and even judges turn the other way while things happen to American families because nobody has the courage to stand up to one percenters. And some people seem to think that, you know, just like they did for President Obama, that President Trump is our savior. When he may have good ideas, President Obama may have had good ideas and some bad, and President Trump also had bad ideas. They're certainly not our saviors because these are the kind of people that find their hope, their power, and their future in the hands of men.